Can they cut it on television's toughest quiz? They've agreed to put themselves in the hot seat for their chosen charity, but only one person can be the winner. Who will be crowned tonight's Celebrity Mastermind? Our first celebrity in the spotlight tonight is the food critic Jay Rayner. He answers questions on the musicals of Sondheim. The National Lottery presenter O.J. Borge will be hoping it's his lucky night with his specialist subject, the Star Wars trilogy. The man who always pays his way, travel writer Simon Calder, answers questions on Concorde. And from the band Blue, Antony Costa, his specialist subject, the comic exploits of Only Fools and Horses. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Antony Costa.
Your chosen charity?
Sarah's Hope Foundation.
And your specialist subject?
Only Fools and Horses.
Only Fools and Horses in a minute and a half. What's the name of the tower block on the near area estate in Peckham where the Trotters live?
Nelson Mandela House.
Yes, despite being frequently told about his mistakes, Trigger persists in calling Rodney by what name?
Dave.
Yep. At which family event does Uncle Albert make his first appearance in the 1985 episode Strained Relations?
Pass.
In Heroes and Villains, Del and Rodney arrived at a local publican's funeral dressed as Batman and Robin. What's Trigger come as?
Chauffeur.
Yes. What working title did the writer John Sullivan originally use for the series that became Only Fools and Horses?
Reddies.
Yep. In The Miracle of Peckham, Del claims to be receiving divine messages, but how's he actually able to predict when the statue in the church will weep?
Pass.
Which artist performed the song Down to Margate over the closing credits at the end of the Jolly Boys outing? John Sullivan had originally wanted them to record the theme tune to the series, but was persuaded to do it himself instead.
Chaz and Dave.
Yep. In a losing streak, Del wins the card game with what hand?
4 aces.
Yes, when the Trotters are decorating Denzel's flat, Del sends Grandad to the high street to buy a packet of Jaffa cakes and...
A budgie.
Canary. In Yesterday Never Comes, the cabinet that Del claims is a Queen Anne has lots of tiny holes in it. What does Del initially say may have caused them?
Oh, the weather.
Not quite. Maybe Queen Anne playing darts. Trigger works as a road sweeper. When he joins a dating agency, what does he say his job is? To add a bit of glamour.
A bus conductor.
Yeah, bus inspector, yeah. While Del and Rodney are in Sotheby's selling their watch for £6.2 million, their Reliant Regal is parked outside with what sign in the windscreen?
Tax in post.
Not exactly. Midwife on emergency call. But you were very close.
Sorry.
Your other two passes, in The Miracle of Peckham, Del actually knew that the statue in the church was going to weep because he'd heard the weather forecast.
That's fine.
And that family event at which Uncle Albert made his first appearance.
Grandad's funeral.
Exactly, just a little bit too late. Antony, you have 7 points. So that's the end of the first round. A pretty close one it is too. Let's have a look at the scores. Fourth place, 7 points, Antony Costa. Third place, 9 points, Jay Rayner. Second place, 10 points, O.J. Borge. In the lead, 12 points, Simon Calder. So, the general knowledge round now, and if there's a tie at the end of it, then the number of passes get taken into account, and the person with the fewer passes is the winner. Let's get on with it and ask Antony to join us again, if he would please. And I'm a bit puzzled by your illustrious career, because Blue was very successful as a band. Lots and lots of number ones and all the rest of it. You were doing brilliantly, and then you all sat around and said, I know, let's go into the Eurovision Song Contest. Why?
It was a great experience for us to obviously represent your country and the UK. But for us, it was more about telling the people in Europe and around the world that Blue were back. And then the next day, our song went to #2 in Germany and #3 in Sweden. So it did really, really well for us.
Right.
You know, obviously.
Because I'd imagine you sort of sit there going, "Oh God, we only came 11th, and we're actually rather good."
Yeah, no, we did all right. But you know, obviously Azerbaijan won. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, Azerbaijan won because
It was probably a better song than ours, but...
It might have been, or it might have been... It's politics with that.
A lot of people say that. I mean, once you're there, John, it is a case of just everyone voting for each other. It's not all about the song. So
yeah.
we did really, really well. And me personally, we're pleased to be back.
Right, let's see how you do now. You got 7 points so far. Well, you know, that's not bad.
It's not the worst, is it?
It's not absolute. No,
oh, that's good.
No. Oh, look, you're not even in that league. No, it's not the worst. You're doing well. And you've got to get a bit of, well, you've got to get a few more if you're going to
I know, Stephen's doing really
win the trophy.
Yeah,
so, here we go. 2 minutes this time on general knowledge. Which big cats have a family unit known as a pride?
Lions.
Yeah. Who had a hit with Crazy in Love in 2003? The song also featured the rapper Jay-Z.
Beyonce.
Yep. The Sasquatch, or Bigfoot, is the North American equivalent of which legendary creature of the Himalayas?
Pass.
Which docu-soap starring Amy Childs and friends picked up the YouTube audience BAFTA at the ceremony in May 2011?
The Only Way is Essex.
Yes, according to the title of the first book in Stieg Larsson's Millennium trilogy, the girl Lisbeth Salander has a tattoo depicting what creature?
Spider.
Dragon. Which Australian arts venue with a shell-like roof was constructed on the site of a former tram depot on Bennelong Point in Sydney Harbour?
Pass.
Which England batsman was reinstated after he'd been given out in controversial circumstances in the second test against India in July 2011?
It's not Flintoff.
No, it's Ian Bell. Which spirit forms the base of the liqueur Drambuie?
Pass.
Who became the first British artist to top the American singles chart since Elton John in '97 when You're Beautiful reached #1 in March 2006?
James Blunt.
Yeah. In the 1880s, Van Gogh produced 2 series of still life works of which flower? One showing them on the ground and the other in vases.
Daffodil.
Sunflowers.
Flower.
Which Canadian-born actor has starred in The Truman Show, Liar Liar, The Cable Guy and Me, Myself and Irene?
Mr. Jim Carrey.
It was. What name for a Native American tent or wigwam made of skins stretched over a frame of converging poles comes from the Sioux word meaning dwelling?
Pass.
What, do you say pass?
Yeah.
Right, all right. In which long-running musicals are Mr. Mistopheles, Macavity and Grisabella among the main characters?
Cats.
Yep. Which Scottish city has a 6.5-mile underground railway that opened in 1896? It's now nicknamed the Clockwork Orange.
Glasgow.
Yes. What name is given to the vulcanised rubber disc used instead of a ball in ice hockey?
Puck.
Yes. The abbreviation CCTV stands for what device used in surveillance?
Big Brother.
Well, it might be, but it could sound... There was a clue in the initials. Closed-circuit television. But anyway, there we are. 4 passes altogether. Teepee is the name for that Native American tent. Whiskey forms the base of Drambuie. Sydney Opera House. And the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, otherwise known as the Yeti or the Abominable Snowman. You've now got, Anthony, 15 points.
Thanks.
Well, a good close round there. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place, 15 points, Antony Costa. 3rd place, 21 points, O.J. Borge. 2nd place, 24 points, Jay Rayner. But he was pipped at the post because in 1st place with 26 points, Simon Calder. Simon?